So, my dear children, good evening to one and all. So, this is Ravindra from Sri Chaitanya Education Institutions, Dr. B.S. Rao Nagar campus. So, today let us have a small discussion about the NEET Physics Past year trend analysis. Means how the paper was given in 2024 for NEET examination. And what is the trend? For this, I have a collection of the questions, number of questions from various chapters given in the previous NEET examinations, and I have this analysis from 2009 to the recent 2024. So, if possible, if you want to have some idea about this, I request you to take a screenshot of this so that you can have some idea about the trend. Of course, earlier the NEET exam was conducted by the CBSE people, and later, now the National Testing Agency is conducting this NEET examination. And if you observe the recent trend, that is 2024, actually we have around 28 chapters in physics for NEET examination, and out of these during various years the number of questions are different. And if you observe 2024, the trend is like this. You see here, there are certain interesting factors. We think that if the chapter is big, more number of questions may be asked, but it is not so. If you observe a particular chapter like units and dimensions or units and measurements, the topic is very small, but this year in 2024 paper, 3 questions were asked, and interestingly, most of the students, they have done mistakes in these questions. And coming to the other chapters, if you observe, you see electrostatic potential and capacitance. So from this topic, in 2024, 4 questions were asked. And gravitation, from this topic, 2 questions were asked. So gravitation is an important topic. Every year, we can expect questions from this topic, and gravitation and this electrostatics, they have some connection. Means they have some similarities, like Coulomb's inverse square law, field, potential, energy. So in this regard, there are certain connections between these two. So my dear children, I advise you to focus on these topics like gravitation and electrostatic potential and field. You see here, 4 questions were asked, and from gravitation, 2 questions were asked. And if you observe magnetism and matter, so from this topic, magnetism and matter, 4 questions were asked. So this is also, it seems to be a small topic, but 4 questions makes a huge contribution. And coming to the last topic, if you observe the semiconductor device and logic gates, here from this particular topic, 4 questions were asked in 2024 NEET examination. And here, if we observe the recent examination paper, my personal recommendation is those who are thorough with NCERT content, those who are familiar with each and every line of NCERT physics content, including the synopsis and the examination questions or the exercises which are there at the end of each chapter, those who have gone through those particular areas, they have got the advantage. For example, this year in 2024 examination paper, there was a trouble with one question, especially from the topic atoms. So from this topic, a question was asked and that was given in synopsis, and that became a controversy, and finally the apex court has taken a decision to resolve that, So that changed the ranks and marks of so many students. So at this juncture, what I would like to suggest you is, so be careful while preparing for examination. That means my sincere recommendation is, please thorough with NCERT content. Don't leave even the topic synopsis, which will be given at the end of each chapter, like points to ponder or synopsis or summary, whatever will be there. And one more thing, the questions and exercise problems, whatever are given at the end of each chapter, my sincere request is, please go through those and try to solve those. And of course, in the recent books which was modified during this 24-25 edition, if you observe NCERT book, a lot of things are removed. It means those part or those questions which seem to be a little bit ambiguous, those questions were removed, and it was cut into small size. It means the quantum of each topic was reduced. But with that, the problem is not resolved, in my opinion, as a physics teacher. The reason is, if you observe the recent NCERT textbook, there are certain topics which are not there in the NCERT textbook, which is supposed to be followed by the +1, +2 students. Especially if you take +2 book, in this topic, actually semiconductor devices and logic gates is completely removed. But in 24 examination paper, 2 questions were asked from logic gates. So my suggestion is, you better follow the syllabus given by NTA, which is meant for NEET examination. There will be certain topics which are given in NTA syllabus and which will not be there in the recent NCERT physics textbooks. So be careful. So those who are writing NEET 25 examination, be careful while observing the content given in the NCERT textbook. Don't think that those topics which are not there in NCERT textbook, those are not there in NEET examination syllabus. So be careful. You observe the syllabus, and based on that you come to a conclusion. Especially what I suggested, especially logic gates, it was not there, completely removed. Transistors, that is completely removed. Of course, transistors, it was not there in NEET syllabus, but logic gates was there in syllabus, and 2 questions were asked in 2024 paper. So like that, there are certain topics which must be taken care. It means don't depend only on the NCERT content given in the textbooks. And of course, and here if you observe the previous questions, you see this is the question given in 2024 NEET examination paper. Actually, I would like to focus on certain questions where the students, most of the students, they have done mistakes. If you observe this, what I would like to suggest, while dealing with graphs, my dear children, be careful. You see here, the graph is given for 1 by lambda square versus energy. Actually, majority cases, lambda versus E graph will be there. So students got confused and they did not notice, it means which is on y-axis, which is on x-axis. So even the toppers, they have done the mistake. So my recommendation is, at the end of each topic in NCERT textbooks, questions based on graphs were there. So please solve the questions based on graphs as well. So that will definitely going to help you while writing the examination for 2025. So rule number 1 is, at the end of each topic in NCERT textbook, questions based on graphs, please solve all those. Definitely that is going to help you a lot. Okay. Next. You see here, this is also given in 2024, and you know, it is a standard question. Here, this question also, most of the students, they have done mistake. How and why? I'll explain. Here you see, usually the possibility of mistakes will be, I'm mentioning, rule number 1. When PV graph is given like this, first of all, you must observe what is given on y-axis, what is given on x-axis. Standard pressure on y-axis, volume on x-axis. Next, what is the unit of P on y-axis, what is the unit of V on x-axis? You see here, for pressure, here it is not Pascal, it is kilopascal. And here the unit is not in SI, it is in centimeter cube. So you need to convert it into meter cube. And the thing is, here most of the students know that the area enclosed here will be giving you work done, and as it is a cycle, internal energy will not change. And the thing is, the cycle, how it is depicted on the graph, is it in the clockwise sense or anti-clockwise sense? It is important to observe. So if it is in the clockwise sense, you know, work done is positive. If it is in the anti-clockwise sense, it is negative. But here, this fellow asked not the work done during that cycle. So most of the students, they try to solve the work done in this cycle. But you see here, the fellow asked work done only during path BC. During path BC, my dear children, it is isochoric, means volume is constant. So work done in this process is 0. Majority of the students, as a routine problem, they thought and calculated the area of this cycle. So be careful. So what you know, it is not important in the examination. What the paper setter is asking, please be aware of that. Okay, right. Next. So this is the question. Actually, it was given in NCERT textbook. This question was given in NCERT textbook, not like this. Separately this part, separately this part. It means coil AB, magnet. Coil CD, magnet. Those two are given separately. You can observe that if you're having NCERT textbook with you, please see the exercise questions. It is there in the NCERT textbook. But majority of the students, they have done the mistake. This problem, those who solved from NCERT textbooks, they have done without any mistake. But majority of the students, how they have gone wrong, no? It is depending on the visualization. It means simultaneously you need to observe either from this direction or from this direction. It means you need to keep your eye there, and what is happening you can observe. Or very simple, from Lenz's law. Lenz's law, according to that, always the induced current will be in such a way that it opposes the cause for the electromagnetic induction. So if the concept is strong, you can answer this question. But what I would like to suggest, you know, this question is there in NCERT textbook. Okay, please note that. Next. And this, you know, this is a typical question. And till now, in NEET question papers, this type of question was not given. What is that? Let me tell you. Usually, assertion and reason, this type of question, there will be two separate statements. Assertion will be a statement, reason also will be a statement usually. The thing is, A and R, assertion and reason, whether those are correct or not, and is there any link between assertion and reason or not? Reason, it is explaining assertion or not, that is the usual routine way of questioning. But you know, here in assertion and reason, instead of asking or instead of giving a statement form, it is in the form of a formula. Assertion, here there is a formula. Reason, here also there is a formula. So what I would like to suggest, you know, so questions may be framed in A and R type, not only based on two statements. It can be based on a formula or even a problem. So be careful about this. This is, I think, in my opinion, if you observe the previous papers, in assertion and reason type, this type of question was not asked till now. This is the question. It is a variety question which was asked in 2024. So in assertion and reason type, the statements, instead of that, you can have formula or even a problem. And here, this type of question, generally the students, most of the students are not exposed. That's why they have done mistake. And one more thing, here usually 2p by something, if it is there, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2p by something, it is a standard formula for electric field on the axis of a dipole, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2p by r cube. The students did not observe the denominator. It is r square, and here 2p, with that they have got confused. So be careful while dealing with the assertion and reason type of questions. And while teaching the students, when I go through the way of answering by the students, what I observe, most of the students blindly they are putting reason, explanation, assertion. Definitely, assertion and reason, if those two are correct statements, be careful while identifying whether the reason explains assertion or not. Sometimes those two can be independent statements. So majority of the students, without going for verification, when two statements are given A and R, majority of the students, what they are doing, if those two statements are correct, simply they are putting that reason is explaining assertion. So be careful while deciding that. Okay, next. So this is one more question which actually majority of the students they went wrong. So if C is velocity applied in free space, the correct statement about the photon among the following are. You see, all these are properties of photons, and some of these are wrong, some of these are right. So here, if you observe, the energy of photon is equal to h nu. Here, all these are right. The velocity of photon is c. The momentum of photon is h nu by c. In a photon electron collision, both total energy, total momentum are conserved. Photon possesses positive charge. Yes, this is wrong. So, out of these 5 statements, 4 statements are correct. Actually, this type of question, from my previous experience, this type of question based on 5-6 statements, that is the routine method in botany or zoology. In botany or zoology, I observed that in previous papers, 5 or 6 statements will be given. Out of those, how many are correct, or what statements are correct, or how many are wrong, what statements are wrong, like that it was asked earlier. So the pattern is repeating in physics also. It means 5 statements or 6 statements may be given, and out of those, how many statements are correct, or what statements are correct, like that question may be asked. Or how many are wrong, what statements are wrong, that type of question also may be asked. Okay, so be careful. So this is a routine question, but be careful. Next. So this is one more interesting question. Actually, this is based on radioactivity. You know, in recent textbook, radioactivity, about that, just a small mention was there. What is the radioactivity, like that, a small paragraph was given. And in the previous textbooks, the radioactive decay law and the half-life, etc., a lot of things were explained. But in the recent textbook, all those things were deleted. And here, the transmutation of element during the radioactive decay, it was not given actually. But this is a routine question, simply the balancing question. It means mass number and atomic number. If you go on balancing, you can simply solve this. But don't think that majority of the students are asking me, sir, this is out of syllabus. No, don't think that it is out of syllabus. It is there in NEET syllabus. But this type of question was not there in the new textbook. It was deleted. In the previous or old edition, it was there. Okay, be careful. Next. Here you see, actually, this is Pakka from NCERT textbook. In NCERT textbook, in the topic magnetism and matter, for dia, ferro, para materials, a table was given, a comparative table was given about susceptibility and permeability or permittivity, like that. The various things are given in a table. So based on those, this question was framed. Those who are familiar with that table, they can solve this. Okay, so in magnetism topic, there was a table about the magnetic properties of the materials. Those who are familiar with this table, those solved this question without error. Otherwise, this question seems to be tougher. So be careful. Next. So one more question where the students have gone wrong now. You see, this is a simple question. Actually, it is a Prism question. Wherever you observe the standard books or most of the questions given in the previous examinations, the routine way is the prism is equilateral. This is the first time, in my opinion, where the prism angle was 90 degrees. So they thought that it is a equilateral prism, and if it is minimum deviation, it passes through the prism parallel to the base. Like that they thought, and they have got wrong. So this is, you observe that it is 90 degrees. So problems based on prism, don't be in a wrong impression that always it is equilateral prism. It can be any angle. Okay, right. Next. So this is one more question where majority of the students they have gone wrong. Actually, how the students confused, let me explain. The minimum energy required to launch a satellite of mass, it means changing the orbit of the satellite. Actually, any teacher in class teaches two types of problems. A body is on the ground. If it is lifted to certain height, what is the work done? In that case, work done in lifting the body from one level to another level is equal to simply the difference in final and initial potential energies. So work done is equal to final PE minus initial PE. But here it is not simply lifting the satellite from one level to another level. Keeping a satellite rotating in a lower orbit into a higher orbit by lifting and making it to rotate in that orbit. So here work done is not the difference of potential energies. Work done is the difference of total energies. So be careful. So this is a question where you can go wrong. So please be careful about this type of questions. Okay. Next. So here this is also a routine question. Actually, when nothing is mentioned and if the telescope is aimed for viewing a distant object, it means it is in normal adjustment. When the telescope is a normal adjustment, the magnification, its formula is FO by FE. But some of the students thought that it was not mentioned clearly, so they have solved the problem for finding the magnification if the image is observed at near point. And there are closer answers for that also. Be careful. So when it is mentioned like this for viewing a distant object, by default you can take that it is for normal adjustment. Okay. Next. So here this is also one more thing. The property which is not of an electromagnetic wave. Majority of the students, they went wrong by ignoring this not. It is a negation. It means the property which is of an electromagnetic wave, they thought like that. So they need to verify out of this which is not the property of electromagnetic wave, you have to identify. So my recommendation is while reading the problem, you underline the key point or key word or key sentence like not, most, in ascending order, in descending order, ratio of x to y or y to x, like that you underline and go for the solution. Okay. Next. So this is a exact question or exact content or exact graph from NCERT textbook. This graph is there in NCERT textbook, my dear children. So those who are familiar with this graph, they are able to solve. So my recommendation is, I am repeating once again, in each chapter, whatever graphs are given at the end of the chapter, besides those, inside the content, inside that chapter content, whatever is there, wherever you find a graph, you practice it, you write it separately and note down that. So don't leave any graph in the content given, not only in the exercises. In any chapter, in the main content, whatever graph was there, be careful about that and go through that. What is that graph? Study that. Okay, directly the same graph may be given in NEET examination. Okay, right. So this is a standard graph which is given in NCERT textbook. Next, and this is a question given in section B. Actually, this is the first time we got this type of question in NEET examination. You see, a balanced bits on which it will be usually given with resistance in their arms or capacitance also sometimes. But this is interesting to note down that diode is also included in one of the arms of the bits on bits. Here, actually, bridge balance for this, you see, here this diode must be in forward bias or reverse bias. It means if you find the ratio for this, you need to find that if it is balanced, left arm's ratio of resistance is equal to resistance ratio in the right arm. And here it is interesting to note down that even if it is forward biased, don't take resistance 0. There is no answer for that type. In forward bias, there is a non-zero resistance for the diode. If you take like that, then only you can get the answer. So he did not mention that it is ideal diode. If it is ideal diode, then you can take that forward resistance is 0. But it is not like that. If you think like that, you will never get any answer for this. So if you assume that there is a finite resistance which is small for a diode in forward bias, then you can solve this. So this is a question, innovative question in my opinion, asked in recent NEET examination. But as it is in section B, if you are thorough or if you are confident, then only you go for this type of question, which is innovative. Okay, my dear children, so there are so many questions like this which I want to share, and in the coming sessions, I'll try my best to explain about the NCERT content which is suitable for NEET examination and how to prepare for NEET examination while going through the NCERT content in each topic, how to read, how to prepare the NCERT content for the NEET examination. I'll try my best to enlighten you in the coming days. And my final suggestion is be aware of NCERT content and read the NCERT textbook thoroughly for each chapter and underline the key words and key lines in each topic and study the graphs given in each topic, and at the end of each chapter the summary or points to ponder or points which are suitable, whatever is given at the end of each topic, those summary points also you thoroughly read, and finally the exercise questions whatever are given at the end of each topic including the graphs, you solve each and every one. Every question, each question you solve. And one more thing, if you have a graphical data in any topic, please go through that data also in each topic. Okay, so with this I conclude here. I stop my lecture here. So my dear children, wishing you best of luck for the coming examination, and be confident and be sure about NCERT content, and thank you for listening to me. Wish you all the best. Good luck.